Good morning. Yes, it's another day that I'm not going to wait till 4:44. I'm going to create my video and go back to bed. I've been awake for over an hour and a half already, and it's been a really quiet hour and a half plus. The title that I've selected is Saying No to Black Friday and More. As I meditated this morning and now sit here at the computer reviewing emails, I realize that there is no especially poignant message coming through today. So what do I do? Well, one thing I will not likely do is shop, which seems to be an after Thanksgiving tradition here in the US. It's what the media encourages, and for many corporations, their biggest boost of the entire year is the Christmas shopping season, in which we have been programmed to spend. I know, for some it is about giving, but there is more to it. For myself, I choose, as much as possible, to just say no to the brainwashing of corporate media. No to those that try to control humanity for profit. I would like it very much if we could get the entire world to say no to the insanity of our world. And I have no idea where I'm going to go with this. I did, before I went to bed last night, watch a video called, well, I didn't watch the whole video. I watched the first half hour of a video called The Price of Sugar. And my friend Peter, who posted it on Loving Energy's website, blog, whatever, he said, aren't we crazy by allowing stuff like this to happen? And he says, no one shall tell me ever again, all is in divine order. And the movie is about the enslavement of Haitians in the Dominican Republic by one of the wealthiest corporations in the world, one of the wealthiest sugar corporations, having a private contract with the United States and putting sugar on our table at the expense of poor blacks that don't have enough to eat, don't have good water to drink, are malnourished and enslaved, and it's going on in the 21st century. And then, of course, we look at what's been happening in Gaza. I know there's been a ceasefire supposedly generated by Hillary Clinton or whatever forces did that, by Egypt, whose new ruler has taken upon himself dictatorial powers. I don't know if that's good or it's bad. We'll see. Anymore, I don't know what is good or bad, what is moving in the right direction or the wrong direction, as the underworlds continue to open up and we continue to see things that are heinous and horrible, as we continue to witness the insanity of our planet. And then we look at media in the West encouraging us to go shopping and buy things that we don't need. My little 4-year-old yesterday took me into his room, and I remember a comment that he made. He's got so many toys, it's unreal. And I don't remember exactly how he worded it, but something like, we've got to get rid of some of these to make room for the new toys. Something like that. I'm not sure. Sometimes it's hard to understand what he has to say. And as I spent several hours with my family yesterday, and he was especially in my face and especially hanging on and demanding of attention at 4 years old. It's frightfully 4. Way more hyperactive than either of the granddaughters ever were. But in any case, he comes out with some strange sayings, and he said something along that line. But that is how it is with so many. I mean, we're programmed to do this endless spending of things that we don't need. If I've learned anything in my life, it's not to waste and to make do with what I have. And if I have to buy something, I first look in secondhand stores and in thrift stores to see if I can get what I need for less money. But that's me. That's my idiosyncrasies. I'm a frugal Dutchman. Uh, and I've never been pro shopping at any time in my life. Normally, when I go to the store, I very rarely go to the store just to look around and see if there's anything that catches my eye. I usually know what I want. I go in, I get it, and I get out. Unlike many women, and I'm sure some men, and I'm not trying to stereotype anybody, but everything has got to be pretty practical to me. It was interesting with my family yesterday, sharing some insights with my ex-wife and things that she remembers that I don't. And I realized and even commented with the family that it is interesting how, as years pass, people that were involved in the same situation can talk about what happened back then, and two people that were experiencing the same thing remember it differently. I've noticed that at different times in my life. But in any case, getting back to the high price of sugar and these slaves and some of the other injustices that still go on in our 21st century when we should have awakened, it amazes me that the mind control program, the brainwashing program that has been implemented on our planet has been so highly successful in hiding the things that we need to be addressing, and doing that sometimes, as I said yesterday, through the religion of denial, which has grabbed a lot of people's minds and hearts and souls. They don't want to look at the things that we have the ability to repair and to fix and to do something about, and to just say no more to this incredible insanity that goes on day in and day out in our world. We allow it. We allow it. We give our unconscious consent by playing the freaking silly game that the world wants us to play. We dance to the beat of the corporate drummer, and we don't listen to our own hearts, which, if we did, would be crying out, stop, stop. It's meaningless to keep going on with this silly game, buying things you don't need, giving your attention to things that don't uplift or don't change anything, don't make anything better. It's like we've been lulled into a false sense of security and peace, and yet for those that look, we see the turmoil, we see the upheaval. And so there are many people waking up, but there are many people still sleeping. And what's it going to take? Someone sent me a channeled message that I don't know the channel. It's not one that I've ever listened to before, but very concerned that they almost succeeded in messing with the grids of the earth and causing a pole shift. And there have been people trying to stop the pole shift because, of course, a pole shift would be a major storm of significant proportion and throw back a lot of the awakening that's been going on. It would turn it around. And of course, there are people that want that insanity. And they're very influential people in our world as far as the control mechanisms that have been instituted in our in our culture and in our global society. And it seems sometimes when you look at it that they're winning. But are they? I certainly hope not. I would like, as I said, for the world to wake up and just say no to the craziness and the insanity. Say no to the idea that there's not enough, when in fact there's more than enough. More than enough to feed the whole world. More than enough to ensure safe drinking water for everyone on the planet. More than enough to irrigate the areas that are arid and desert-like, that don't bring forth much produce. There's more than enough technology to have the energy that we need to power our homes for free and to create generators and other means of free energy, other means of producing that which we need to create a literal paradise, a literal heaven on earth. We have the capability to do that technologically. We have it, and we have, if we will accept it, the friendship of extraterrestrials who want to work with us, who may be ourselves from the future, but they want to help propel us to a higher consciousness, to a higher state of awareness, to wake us up so that we won't be slumbering and sleeping and caught in the web of the Illuminati that only wants to control the world and reduce the world population. We talked yesterday among my family about why they poison the air with chemtrails, why they put fluoride in our water, why they make genetically modified food that makes us sick and doesn't sustain us. Why do they do all these things? Well, they have a game plan, I pointed out, to reduce the world population by about 6.5 billion people and leave about 500 million to serve the elite, is their idea. But well, we only need people to do the very essential things that we want done for ourselves. They are our servants. People are our servants. They are our human resources so that we can keep our little game going and we can be comfortable in our enclave of separation, our ivory towers, like the people that own the sugar plantations in the Dominican Republic. You know, such insanity. Such insanity. We could support probably 15 billion people on this planet if we'd stop fighting each other and doing the crazy things that we do and start just simply working to sustain life and to reverse the trend of pollution and of harming the planet and start honoring our Mother Earth with loving concern and a sustainable culture, not one based on greed and insanity, but one based on compassion and cooperation and actually loving one another, as all of the religions of the world teach, but none of them follow. Isn't it funny how that works? We live in an insane world, and saying no to the insanity is where we need to go. It's where we need to be insofar as our awakening goes, because only then will we be able to live in harmony with each other, and more importantly even, in harmony with ourselves, which is the foundation for the harmony with each other. We need to stop and think and ponder and meditate and ruminate on the things that are actually happening in our world. And we need to stop turning our head away from those things that we don't like, that make us uncomfortable, and challenge us to be more, to do more, to become whole again for the very first time, as I've said previously. I thank you for listening on this day after Thanksgiving, in which I didn't really have anything to say, but I said it anyway, didn't I? Namaste. Have a beautiful day.